Turkey's leadership is extending an olive branch to tens of thousands of anti-government demonstrators. The deputy prime minister has apologized for the violent crackdown, calling it wrong and unjust. It's going to take more than an apology, though, to placate people who fear where their increasingly authoritarian prime minister is leading the country. Eric Sorensen reports.
Today, they handed out flowers, a reminder of how it all started with peaceful demonstrations over the removal of trees in Istanbul's main square. But the police crackdown last Friday has triggered days of massive protests. Images of a woman in a red dress being pepper sprayed have come to symbolize for Turks the heavy-handed response in a country that's supposed to be a model of democracy in the Muslim world.
Aşırı şiddet gösterisi yanlıştır.
Turkey's deputy prime minister apologized for the use of excessive force. But the expanding protests are directed at Prime Minister Erdogan, who they say is becoming less democratic, more authoritarian.
We don't want a dictator in our country, okay? We want to live in freedom. That is what we want in our country.
The response from Erdogan was to leave the country and visit Morocco, where he downplayed the demonstrations.
Ben de çok teşekkür ediyorum.
The protests aren't about trees, he says. Rather, some are not happy about election results. The protests have exposed what some now see as media bias that supports the government and ignores the demonstrations. They put penguins on the air, says this protester. They're not showing what's happening around us.
There's almost no editorial independence in conglomerate media. This was the first time Istanbul's public realized that there was something profoundly wrong.
The United States has voiced measured disapproval of the crackdown.
We're very concerned about the excessive use of force by police in several instances.
Turkey is a NATO ally, so Western countries are treading cautiously. They want to align themselves with democratic freedoms, but do not want to undermine a pro-Western regime in a part of the world that's already extremely unstable. Eric Sorensen, Global News, Washington.